Okay.
The Necro Wisp combination.
So we're going to have a carry Necrophos, a mid Ember Spirit, off-lane Broodmother. We'll see where the Wisp goes. The Wisp Necrophos is actually a nice little combination, especially with the way that the Necrophos's nuke got buffed up in the first 2 levels. Especially that first level, it's like an extra 50 HP, which then if you also have the Wisp missing HP, that's an extra 100 HP that you wouldn't have seen with level 1 Death Pulse. That's a nice... I mean, it works really well versus Axe. I mean, it's a small thing, but it's another hero with a disable potentially against the Enigma. Because that's something that they were kind of lacking. They didn't have too many disables to deal with that. It's only the Bane. You don't want to use, like, Chains is unreliable because you really have to get by positioning for it. And Necrophos doesn't want to use his ultimate for it, but...
So what do you have to do here as Power Rangers? Because... the Broodmother doesn't really want to be against the Axe. Like, we've talked about this before where it can work out for the Brood, but in a perfect world, she wants to be against the Tusk. Do you go aggro here?
I think so.
Power Rangers.
I think your aggro is actually decent enough because it's...
against the dual lane.
Yeah, it's 3 heroes. It's with Necrophos, which I think actually makes the Necrophos a lot more viable than most other supports would make you in the laning phase.
Do you remember during the TI4 qualifiers? Was it Coast? Coast were running aggro trial-ins with Viper Tree and Whip, just running down behind tier 1 towers and killing everything.
I actually do kind of remember that, just because it was so absurd to watch like a Tree and Protector boosted up by a Wisp. They're like, we see what you're doing there, EG. Let us co-op this with an aggro tri-lane scenario.
This kind of reminds me of that. You know, you've got the Bane to set things up, like Leech Seed kind of. But then the Wisp Necro just to absolutely charge you down. There's no slows, but there is the setup from the Bane just to get in there.
Yeah.
Look at this complexity. And they're running around wondering, okay, where do we go? Where do we lane? What's the best setup here for us? Do we safeguard the Wind Ranger with the Dazzle mid to try and get her a little bit more golden experience and really dominate mid lane? But then you're leaving the 2 melee side lane cores, the Tusk and the Tusk Axe.
I think they've caught on to what the lane is going to be. The Broodmother originally threw down the web, right? And that was supposed to be kind of a bait. Like, oh, Broodmother's bottom, send the Axe bottom, but Ziz will be matched up against Cheshire Cat in this top lane.
Big Num already dewards that lane ward. Because the sentry down forces that out, but I don't know, man. Swindles at bot lane. Even with the Dazzle here, it's going to be rough stuff.
So Swindle's going to off as a pseudo offlaner here. He's in the safe lane, but he's facing up against the more dangerous lane, allowing the Axe to have the better matchup. This is still going to be a scenario. Like, I think it's win-win, right? Arcade, if they're matched up against the Axe, the Broodmother has a better lane, right? Whether it's a tri-lane Axe, they put the tri-laning to Broodmother, it's going to be a better lane for Broodmother through and through. And they can just demolish the Axe if he's solo, or just draw even in that lane. But now it's, okay, now the Broodmother's not going to have as good of a time because he's facing up against an Axe, but...
Mid? Finger Check's dead.
Yeah, he is. What was that? Did he just get run down by chains? And
I only caught it when he was half HP, but he was standing enemy side of the river, and he was already half HP.
So he's really trying to push his like range advantage
against
over the Ember. Yeah. Try and, like, you see that a lot from mids that you're supposed to win, is that you try and sit on the enemy cliff, the enemy side of the cliff, and just keep them completely zoned out. But oh my god. All right, oh, that's a great start for Ziz. Managed to get the call Broodmother and ends up taking him out. Don't know if that was some lucky spins or just great positioning, but managed to win that one out. And keep going back to this tri-lane to watch it, and really good block out with the ice shards there from Swin. That actually gets so much damage on, and if they had another Shadow Wave, Necrophos could have died there. They would have had to commit a little bit heavier than they actually did. They still had Snowball as well. They could have killed the Necrophos.
The Necro only has 5 last hits here. The Enigma with 10 already, even with his camp supported up. So he's dewarded, he's controlled his jungle once again. Z-Freak, Bounty Rune, come on, give it to him. Yep, there we go. There we go. Go to that fast level 6. Big Num, he's walking over, he's just going to walk straight into the Enigma.
Z-Freak hasn't actually chosen the ability yet. Midnight Pulse is sometimes more useful when it comes to jungling. Early on, it's the Enigma, clearing through some of those trees.
Yeah, like especially this here.
Mm-hmm.
And dire side if you want to cut down the medium camp as well. This allows for that good transition between them.
Swindle takes a lot of damage. Fortunately, Vlad was able to soak up the wisp balls a little bit. So that damage didn't go on to Swindle, who could have died in that scenario. Cheshire Cat. Oh, he does get called up there. No spins. No love. And they're actually going to start cutting the green a little bit. This is dangerous. They went for the level of Heartstopper. I feel like if you had levels of Sadist, though, it'd be a bit more valuable when cutting the creep wave. Because then you're getting a lot more mana and a lot more HP. So you're taking up the creeps, you're getting a lot of regen back favorable to you. I could see why they went Heartstopper against, you know, multiple heroes like this, but...
Cheshire Cat with the incapacitating bite build, though. At the top. Full-man shield is ready as well. Now, it's interesting to see him go for this. We did actually see the Broodmother against the Axe the other day go for the really it was Vega, right? Against Complexity. He went for like a 1-2-1 build. And still actually
really
makes Spiderlings, but this way around, like you said yesterday, just go into the ultimate as quickly as you can and try actually fight against him.
Now, it's really obvious when you go this builds what you're doing and what when you're gonna actually get strong enough to kill the Axe. And Axes usually respond to it. Like, the first couple times it happened, I feel like offlaners were just a little bit inexperienced. They're like, oh crap, wow, that's a build. He actually kills me now. But all you have to do is just get a level of, or just get a TP. And then you're good. So then the response is going to have to be, Power Rangers, they're going to get 1 kill. Swindle may be run down still. No, they'd feel comfortable with it. Necrophos didn't actually have the level of Sadist, though. He did benefit from getting that hero kill.
And Pigment Check's actually caught up decently at mid. Looking to overtake the last hits of the Spirit, and it's kind of expected, but J4 sitting in Viz.
Yeah, Ember Spirit could just cut on through that area and could go for this Axe. I want to make sure he doesn't get any lucky spins and gets a kill on the Broodmother. Z-Freak throws out a counter ward. That is a spot out J4, but not enough time to actually go for that kill. So Z-Freak, he's going to be a bit wary, but should be fine. Bane by itself is not the biggest threat.
Well, with the Wisp coming in, this Wind Ranger
could be a spot of trouble. I still don't think they can go necessarily because
Ember's just hit 6.
Okay, maybe with that kind of burst damage. I'm just concerned like the Wind Run keeps Wind Ranger alive and then the Enigma comes in.
Oh, is Tron gonna find another one? No, Swindles gets himself back.
Vlad, yeah, sleep him. And wait out the shallow grave. Ping, ping, ping. Gets up the heal, but it's not enough. Now Z-Free comes in from behind. They also have Swindle ready to go. He's a little bit low on HP, but if he gets the right ice shards, he'll block both these heroes out for Pingvid check to take advantage of. Big Num surviving, but no, Power Shot takes him out. Looks like this snowball actually cut down some of those trees, and J4 was able to walk himself around that ice shards. Well, Cheshire Cat, he's dropping quite low here. He doesn't have the HP to go for the kill on Zitz.
No.
You almost need to pop in Insatiable Hunger right now. And lifesteal up the creeps.
Zitz used it. So it looks like it just missed out on the
opportunity. I mean, do you feel really lucky on your RNG and you go for the kill anyway on this? Because you know he doesn't have Cooling Blade. I think you're reading.
Vanguard.
I think you're reaching a certain amount of HP that you could go for fighting the Axe. That being said, Swindle's here, so it obviously be a bad idea. But from Cheshire Cat's perspective, he's like, I might be able to win this fight. Unfortunately, with the extra help of Swindle, he's not going to be able to win it. Eventually, he's going to get spun on. Jesus, he went so long without a spin.
Ridiculous. I don't even know without Swindle there if you get the kill.
Yeah, I think the Vanguard is enough damage reduction that you can't. The Broodmother doesn't die in that scenario, but you also don't kill the Axe. I think it's the difference. If you go this build, you can't afford to give up the early kill, right? Because if you give him the Vanguard, then that changes everything. Oh, that was a lot of damage. Nice spot out there from Vlad, giving opportunity for a big shadow wave onto the Necropost, leaving him quite low. Now they're going to go for the Broodmother. Now, fortunately, he will be able to get into the trees just because he hasn't taken any damage. And they're going to be able to take control of this tier 1. Too bad Z-Freak doesn't actually. Oh my god, he actually just ran into Cheshire Cat.
Radiant structures are
If he just threw out the black hole at any point in time, you would have caught him there, but...
Do you start rotating heroes up onto this Brood lane? Because you just lost your tier 1 and Brood is not having a good time up here. And it's something that we've seen from Veigar especially, is that sort of fear of moving onto a Brood lane and limiting her gold experience, her sort of solo threat power, is mitigated by the fact that you can go take a tier 1, get gold for yourself, and actually maybe kill off some supports for you.
Swindle's going to be a little bit caught here. Barash does have the jump out soon, and they're still going to go for the kill. Turn around, Swindlemelon's not going to receive any help. And the kill actually go to the Wisp. So I agree though, the moment you take that tier 1 tower in the bottom lane, you should try and help out the Broodmother lane. Whether it's ganking it up and then leaving the Broodmother solo or actually doing a full rotation. Looks like they're just gonna go for the gank. They just did the gank and now they're gonna pick up and focus on... Well, they do need to help out Necrophos a little bit. They had a bit more power. They would be able to for a black hole kill. Z-Freak probably knows there's some help coming in. There's no way that Necrophos just mans up like that one. They the solo black hole, but it's only Vlad next to him. Now they're turning around to get off the heal. That easily is a kill on the Enigma, and that was just not the read. I mean, that's not on Vlad at all. Like, yeah, maybe he could have gotten out the shallow grave onto the Enigma, but there was very clearly not enough damage to kill that Necrophos. And there was also the awkward amount of aggression that Necrophos was putting onto the Enigma that kind of says there has to be a rotation.
Yeah, with your 2 damage dealing cores actually mid and top, Ziz, he just wants to farm like 200 gold away. Once he gets that, you can start looking to rotate around. But Cheshire Cat, again, I'm not sure about his chances here.
Yeah, the Vanguard seems to be blocking out so much damage. And he will back out, probably realizing that there was going to be a team or no. Z-Freak is here now.
Some decent cooldown, though, on that insatiable hunger.
Yeah.
But then the question always is, when you pick Axe against Brood, do you, with the Blink Dagger, do you go and play aggressively elsewhere? Or do you go and get that kill initially on the Broodmother with a Dust? You know, jump the Brood, kill, and then move on to another lane? It's always the difficult choice. Well, maybe the choice has been made for him.
He actually gets called up, but will be able to survive thanks to Bignum actually coming in. The Tether helping him out. Back to this middle lane, I'm looking at net worth-wise, Ember Spirit is quite even with the Wind Ranger. This is partially thanks to the kill and the assist that he was able to pick up earlier, so making up for the CS advantage that Wind Ranger had.
Axe haste. This is the kill run.
It certainly is.
Empty bottle.
Arcade have spotted it out, yeah. So, they're playing very defensively now. No one's at that bottom lane, they're just clearing through jungle and farming up middle and top, staying rather grouped up, and this is probably around the time to go for it, just because you know the Blink Dagger is coming up on Ziz.
And you want level 6 on your Bane and Wisp, which Bane is very close to. Just leech some experience mid. I'm wondering, though, looking at this Enigma, what kind of build you go? Because Z-Freak, he kind of always used to go for the kind of standard Treads mech build, back when they used to play that Enigma or Chen Dragon Knight and they'd push into towers early on. But here, I think the build is Blink.
You think so?
To follow in on the act.
I like Mech still, but then I think it's Mech and then Blink. I think you might be right, because normally it's Mech BKB, right?
Yeah.
But in this game, you've got Fiend's Grip as well as Necrophos's Reaper Scythe to stop you. So there's not as much value in the BKB. There's not necessarily as much magic damage as you'd be as afraid of, kind of because the supports bring that much.
Yeah. I was just thinking, like, against Wisp, Brood, Ember Spirit, having that secondary form of jump and catch.
Yeah.
Could be useful. But he's going for the mech.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Blink Dagger is going to be really good here.
But not straight away.
But I think they need a certain amount of guaranteed pushing power.
Okay.
And that's kind of what the mech gives you, right? You should always have that advantage, or should, and theoretically. That being said, Power Rangers have a one-position farmer that goes mech first, and that's Necrophos. And that's something very special about Necrophos that he brings to the table, is an inordinate amount of early sustain.
Yeah, and he's not going to have mana issues either with the Wisp behind him. Lignum should be able to keep him up and running. And they want to get that relocate up, but it looks like Complexity are moving themselves up to top to try and stop this. This is kind of weird. Big Mom is sitting in this position where he's in that high tethered relocate to save. But Tron's caught. coL, Shackle, With the focus fire, the Big Gnome comes in, but there's no ultimate. You can't teleport him back. Tron is lasting through everything.
I actually have to turn on to Big Gnome now and try and focus him down. Tron's going to be fine as the rest of the team now comes in. They've got Barish here. Ziz just get a really good call, but they're almost managed to kill Ziz, but Tron's going to go down first. The Shellgrave keeping him alive. Another chop, and they will be able to take out the Ember Spear. J4, he's up next. Ziz barely survives there as even the range creep gone in for him now, but won't be able to get that kill. J4 blocked out, and that actually looked really good for Complexity. Then it looks really bad, and then it looks good again. I thought for a second there, with the way the Necrophos was surviving through all of that they were going to be able to turn things around, but Ziz, with that manly two-man call, plus the Shellgrave that came in at the perfect time from Vlad. That combination actually just straight up won the fight for them.
Yeah, for sure. Shackle shots coming through as well. I could see 3 of them from checking that fight. But just imagine if Whisper's level 6. Silicates tethers, and they're out. There's the Wisp, and that's it. But they pile in, try and save the Necro, who did have mana issues. I thought he'd be okay, but looking at the Wisp's items, what is it? Magic Wand. There's no Arcanes, no bottle, nothing really to keep the old Necro actually going with the mana pool. And J4 has his Arcade boots, but the push comes in middle lane thick and fast. The mech is done for the Enigma, and he sends out the rescue from his base. Now they can start to look for this Broodmother, because Cheshire Cat's moved down to bottom lane, finally finishes off the Soul Ring, and will take control of the Radiant jungle a little bit. But this isn't really applying pressure onto Complexity, you know? The tier 2 down at bottom lane is being safeguarded by the Axe, who has... Does he have another item on the courier? No. Vanguard, Blink... Did he have Tranquils before, or has he just finished them off? It feels like he had Brown Boots, Vanguard, Blink, and then has gone Tranquils recently.
You might be right. He had Brown Boots with the Vanguard, and I think you're right, because then he would have gone to the Blink as fast as possible. So
he's gone back for the Tranquils.
I think that's still okay, just because the movement speed that offers you when you're the initiator, you're running in, you still have those actives. I think it's a decent idea. J4's in a peck of trouble here if Ping Check managed to get the right shackle shot. They get the wow.
Shackle though?
I can't believe that actually didn't work.
He's looking for the angle. But
he can get it on the on the Necrophos right now at any point in time, but he knows there's a lot of teammates behind him.
He's looking for the Wisp. He knows Big Gnome is behind with the get ready. He sees him now.
That's definitely the one you want to pull the burst down first. And he'll have his opportunity now. Shackle shot lands in with the focus fire, and the ice shards over the top. They easily get that kill. Swindle out. The one who claims the bounty. Meanwhile, bottom, Barish, he's been caught with a black hole over the top. They should be able to get this kill unless he comes out in time. Barish actually escapes, and now Ziz, he's going to be taking a Reaper Scythe soon, and should be, no, good shell. It comes in at the right time. Still, though, looks like Ziz should be going down unless he insane amount of procs. He will be dying. Same goes with the Enigma. Vlad's going to be run down here. Relocate. Wrong side, but they do get the Nightmare to stop the TP out. So this time around, things turn into the favor of Arcade.
So when they group up and they have their Arcanes with that Necro pumping out Death Pulse after Death Pulse, it's so difficult at that clincher.
They have so little damage when they don't have like the two supports don't offer any damage, right? Dazzle and Enigma, a lot of control thanks to the Enigma's black hole, but not necessarily the greatest damage. Not yet anyway. Later on in the game, Midnight Pulse does good.
Yeah, like Axe and Enigma kind of overlap a little bit here.
Yeah,
from the two different roles in terms of what they bring to the table. The Wind Ranger task actually give you a ton of damage with Ice Shards and the Power Shot with Focus Fire,
But this is the big downside that we were talking about when going for the Axe, right? Is that we don't really have a strong carry. It's just the Wind Ranger. You don't have a whole lot of damage otherwise. Ping Vinchek he's doing great. He's going to have a fast Aghanim Scepter, but it's one of those scenarios you don't want to rely on the Wind Ranger as a carry. You'll sometimes see Wind Ranger games who do take over like the highest net worth position because they do so well in the lane. They actually do become the carry purely through the fact that they're at the highest net worth, but you don't want to rely on that when it comes to the drafting phase. You don't want to look into this and go, okay, Wind Ranger has to do incredibly well. Microphone's going to be caught here. He does have the neck coming. Maybe. No, Big Gnome can't really stop this one. Check's going to be blown up as the Beam's Grip takes him out, but it's still 2 for 1 so far. Barish trying to get away from here with a jump out, and Bane will TP away as well.
That was great.
They actually got a decent exchange there, despite the early catch on the Necrophos. It was 2 for 1, but they got a pretty high priority target in Ping Check.
And that's all down to Barish, like, faking that he didn't have a remnant, running west to try and get away and drawing them away from J4, because potentially the could have died there. But, Barish, with little mind games, running and then zipping to his remnant. It's a really unusual back and forth, though. This axe, you know, when he catches someone out with the Wind Ranger nearby, they're going to get kills, but they haven't stopped the Ember farming. The Battle Fury is going to be here pre-20 minutes, and that's going to be great for Barish over on this Fiery Spirit. Whereas Z-Freak on the Enigma. Mech Soul Ring, still waiting to see where he heads into now. And ARCADE, they've got tier 1 power up at top standing. I think if they just go and brute force that, while Cheshire Cat, we've kind of ignored him for the past couple of minutes because he's been doing sneaky spider things, but he's got a ton of ult saved up. 3,000 after he's taken control of the enemy jungle. And this right here is the problem that I was saying. Ziz has been going around and, you know, it's not a bad thing. He's been looking for kills trying to control team fights because that's what he needs to do. But who deals with the Broodmother? Who stops her from pushing in? Who stops the pressure onto the tier 2 and limits the farm? Because we've seen Broodmothers recently not just be that really passive, kind of boring or easy, sit on a lane, push into racks, and just draw attention. We've seen Broodmothers fight. And fight pretty well with the builds that come out of them, as Ziz is caught.
Yeah, this could be a good opportunity to fight. They do have the Scythe ready to go. That was 3 different ultimate use, but a very important kill. They take out the axe. And they take him out for a good long while, too. 70 seconds. I mean, that extra 30 seconds in some of these tempo-based cores actually means a lot. I mean, a minute in 18 minutes, you're down for over a full minute in an 18-minute game. That's actually an absurd percentage of time to be down. Oh, Rod of Atos, this is an opportunity to slow out Vlad with the rest of the team coming forward. They're going to try and fight this one out, especially with no axe. Barish is going to control a couple of heroes on the side, but they can't really get the most catch here without their Bane. The Bane already using his Fiend's Grip and not there in time for a Nightmare didn't allow them to be able to catch Complexity when they were out of position.
Especially with Black Hole there. You can't walk up on high ground, you can't really push into any choke points, because if you get caught, you're stuck in that for a long old time. Cheshire Cat dusted, and the blink from Swindle.
Swindle, nice catch there. They're going to be able to take out Cheshire Cat. The Spiderlings are going to work, though. That tier 2 tower is still dead. All right, Enigma. Can you get it? Spiderlings go! Oh! Nice deny.
Eidolons are better than Spiderlings.
Yeah, I guess so.
Look at the train of Spiderlings. Go, my pretty.
Yeah, you can stop them there, but the spiders will always still farm. How absurd is that? Maybe that's the change we need to make. When you kill Broodmother, you don't get the same amount of bounty from everything your Spiderlings do while you're dead. Like 50% bounty. So when you're dead and the Spiderlings are clearing through neutrals or getting kills or taking towers, I think it's something. It's not a major change. It just punishes the Broodmother a little bit more for when she's caught.
That's so mean.
I mean, I hate Broodmothers. Are you a Broodmother player, Circa? Do you sit there in your AP games waiting until the last pick?
I'm gonna pick Broodmother.
Surprise Broodmother.
I did play a game last night where I was Broodmother, and I enjoyed it.
I like how shameful you said that. You just like the dirtiest pleasure.
Yeah.
You talking about playing Broodmother the same way some men talk about watching pornography.
Well, on the enemy team there was a Crystal Maiden that kept buying Dust and Sentries. And every time she killed me, she would go XD in all chat. And then when I was taking her racks and finishing the game, I was just going XD, XD. She flamed me at the end of the game. She told me to leave my mother's basement and get a real life, but well,
joke's on her.
I won the game.
4-man smoke up from Complexity right now, but they're not going to find anything. ARCADE, I didn't actually see how they spotted out this smoke, but they seem to know.
They know everything.
Yeah.
So. I mean, the Broodmother's up on the high ground. Oh. I see this.
Okay, so it is going to be a battle build for the Broodmother. BKB early. We talked about the potential of the Brood.
I really like the Desolator build on Brood that we've been seeing
Same.
a little bit recently. It's so good. Like, the cost of Desolator nowadays, ridiculously reduced, but applying the Minor Summon not only to obviously towers and racks and things like that, but against a hero like Dazzle, you could potentially get in there with Incapacitating Bite and four-shot the...
Yeah. Forcing, you know, maybe a Shallgrave on himself instead of saving an ally. It gives, for me, it's the perfect combination of, like, this fighting, assassinating power of the Broodmother, and then Roche-taking capabilities and split pushing. Like, it's just so beneficial to all those areas. But Cheshire Cat, very much focusing on the fighting power, and that's not a bad idea simply because that's Complexity's biggest strength right now. In this 15 to 20 minute period, they're supposed to be the ones dominating team fights because they don't have great late game.
DD, Battle Fury, Aegis, Ember Spirit. Well, now going into sort of the mid game now, 23 minutes in, Arcade with Necro, Ember Spirit, Broodmother. You've got this feeling of complexity. We talked about in the draft for the Axe and the Wind Ranger, and you're sort of lack of physical damage until the Wind Ranger gets some big items up. This is a key time where you've got to either really put your stamp on team fights and dominate them, with Swindles having obviously a key part to play in this, and get your Desolator crit, whatever it is on the Wind Ranger, probably the Daedalus build. Maybe a Blink if you want to try and catch out the Wisp in the back end. Yeah, that's the Blink for Pingvin check. But you need to farm as well. Like, you've got a Glimmer Cape on your Enigma now. They know they need to win a team fight, but Swindles is caught.
Yeah, they're going to probably Reaper Scythe him, so he's going to be dead for a very long time. Now they're going to get Pingvin check. Barash actually managed to get a hold of him with the chains. They're going to be able to catch up. The Raw until slows him down. Pingvin check is an extra casualty to that four-man gank. This is the power of the Necrophos. You ever find somebody alone, and you know they're going to get Reaper Scythe, because that's exactly what the Wiz is going to take the opportunity. It's well worth it. The extra 30 seconds, I mean, by the time this Husk is back up, Reaper Scythe is off cooldown again. So you can continue this general line of like 4 versus 5 the whole entire game. coL, they do have a bit of weakness here on Tron, but I don't think it's enough for Ziz to really threaten this Necrophos. In fact, it's going to be the other way around. Sleep on to Vlad. Z-Freak is here with the black hole, and that's going to deter Arcade from pushing forward.
I'm just looking at the Necro with the Vid Booster again, and I guess it's Ultra Incore. Yeah.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I believe so. Could be just value Vitality Booster, but I don't think so. I think when you're this late into the game, you don't go value items.
Interesting, though. I guess you get a ton of life steal, a ton of stats from it as well.
Would you prefer the Ags, though? Is that what you're getting into?
See, that's the deliberation I'm having in my head. Like, Ags Refresher is so good, but then Ultra Incore with Ags Refresher is pretty good as well.
Yeah, for me, it's like, I actually don't like Refresher until the third item. Like, first get the Ags or the Octarine, one or the other. Because for me, I don't see the extra value necessarily in getting 2 heroes out with no buyback. You're like, yeah, that's a potential game-ending scenario, but you can still just generally win the game by having a little cooldown on Reaper Scythe, and make your Necrophos just kind of unkillable. It's a very like situational win, right, when you go for the Refresher.
Spiderlings are everywhere.
They really are.
Bloody hell, there's tons of them. Wait, does Dazzle die here to
I was about to say, there was another group of Spiderlings, but oh, Ziz, cleanup time.
It's not the full army, though.
But still, they're being slowed down enough that Arcade can catch up. J4, he's going to come in. Fiend's Grip on his Ziz. There's no real response. Z-Freak needs the black hole. Needs it desperately. Needs to stop the Fiend's Grip. Gets it on 3. Ziz now controlling Tron. They're going to be able to take out one snowball right through. But Tron, he's going to be... Oh, Ziz gets the Reaper Sight. Never mind. He's going to be going down. And now it's going to be Barash and Tron fighting it out. They should be able to win this engagement, too. Z-Freak gets away.
Wow. Where's Broodmother?
Broodmother was in the background.
Threes, of course.
Yeah, didn't get anything just yet, and man, not still as he's. Oh, okay.
Well,
how did that work?
Oh, maybe not.
I think it was one of those ice shards that didn't actually hit the hero but blocks them in. You know, have you seen those before? Where you're like on the edge of where the ice shards would spawn. You don't take damage, but it can potentially push you backwards into the area that ice shards kind of catches you.
The collision model appears, but doesn't see damage.
Because there's no way, because Cheshire Cat, if he's hit by the ice shards, he shouldn't be able to run through it. Only if you haven't taken damage that you run through that scenario.
Well, Penguin Check was just herded out of that team fight. Again, Broodmother is so great at choosing one hero, just forcing them back so they get swarmed by spiderlings. It's so difficult, because Penguin Check can pop Windrun to try and run back or forth. But he had to run back to the tier 3, so there were no big shackles, no power shots, no real focus fire. So Axe was left on his own with Enigma just to try and battle it out there. But Arcade, yep, it's going to be... It's actually going to be the soul boost plus a plate mail for the Necro. So he's gone for a little more tankiness. We're seeing this a lot from, like Queens of Pain, Necros, and things like that.
Yeah.
Bonus armor from the plate mail is such a value pickup.
The only way he dies is most likely Axe spin and, oh, that's another Reaper Scythe target. So Sea Freak now down and out for 80 seconds.
Or Enigma.
Penguin Check.
Jungle.
Oh, nice. Snowball saves. Wintermelons actually buys him opportunity. The Shackle Shot doesn't latch though. Cheshire Cat gets off the BKB. They manage to get the call as well. Barsh is going to be caught in this as well. They might be able to get a kill, or maybe the turnaround. The heal goes out. Barsh has to jump himself away. Has another remnant up, and we'll jump to that in a second. Oh no, he got shackled. He's done for. He didn't want to jump over to that remnant for some reason.
They split. They went 2 and 2. So he would have jumped into someone, I think.
Yeah.
Ziz maybe could have blinked over and the stun there as well. But without a relocate to actually get into the jungle and save them, that was a ballsy move by the Ember and the Broodmother. And they'll lose their tier 1 down the bottom lane, but the trade-off is already there. So Power Rangers, they lose a couple of heroes, but it's a massive loss.
Yeah, unnecessarily aggressive. Tier 2 for... It's probably going to be tier 1 and tier 2 for complexity. Arcade, most likely going to be force backed. Which one do you want to see the first, the Shivas or the Octarine? For me, it's 100% the Octarine.
Yeah, yeah, definitely the Octarine core. I mean, the plate mail is just there for like casual armor, I think.
Yeah,
against Wind Ranger, it's a pretty good pickup because it negates so much of her damage from just the focus fire.
Yeah, how else are you going to die in this game? Like
exactly.
The only opportunity they have to kill a Necrophos, if it's not through physical damage and working through that plate mail, is going to be Midnight Pulse.
Yeah.
That's not really valuable.
Oh god. Swindles has a Lotus Orb as his second item. Let's see the reversal on that side.
I'm not a big fan of this. I don't agree with Lotus Orb against Necrophos. I don't know why. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm sure it's just on me missing something, but I really feel like Necrophos most of the time when you throw out Reaper Scythe, you're at high HP. It's very rare. I've never seen a successful Lotus Orb that actually does damage to the Necrophos.
It's the same with Doom as well, if the Doom's throwing out his Doom, he's already done his job, and if it reflects back onto him, he's got Scorched Earth on and it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
It's a similar situation. Lincoln Sphere is obviously going to be the best pickup, but it's quite expensive and difficult to get into. But I don't know.
Yeah, that's actually hilarious. Doom, Scorched Earth is also the biggest Doom counter out there. That's just so absurd now that I think about it with the buffed up regen.
Rubik has to steal Scorched Earth every time now, in case he gets doomed.
Yeah. Alright, so the MKB is going to be the build for Broodmother. Cheshire Cat is fully focusing on shutting out the Wind Ranger. It's a good plan of attack. Again, just like the, what we're talking about, the plate mail, if you keep the Wind Ranger's damage at bay, there's not much complexity you can do from there. Except for really good Midnight Pulses with Black Holes. It can't just be a really good Black Hole, it has to be a good Midnight Pulse too.
Complexity seem a little bit lost here. They grouped up as 5 towards mid, there's no tier 2 there's no tier 2 bot. They're not pushing out any lanes, and now they've realized, okay, we've been forced to defend bottom lane with Tusk, we've split up, there's 4 heroes at the top, but they're going to be cut in half here if Arcade actually move across. There's J4 alone, but there's relocates, there's possibly Bash who can run himself across there as well.
Yeah, they've got some pretty mobile heroes, but...
Well, Big Num is going to die.
Oh yeah, he gets taken out by the focus fire. Z's actually missing the call there. And Tron's going to be slowed down.
They can cancel.
Burn. Oh Jesus, Vlad. He was not with him. They were going to back out. Looks like the Reaper Scythe will not be able to kill him, but they'll catch Sea Freak. Oh, can he get Black hole, he's got a ring, but he gets taken out by his light of fist before he can do it. Oh no, now Tron's gonna be the target here. They have a chop, but they can't quite kill him. They heal him enough. He's keeping himself alive, just barely want to sleep a little bit longer. How is he getting away from this? Oh my god, Arcade Power Rangers keep the Necrophos alive, and now Complexity good for staff play, and he will be able to get out, but that was just scraping the bottom of the barrel at that point in time. Complexity lost that fight. They got away with the axe, but it was still very one-sided to Arcade's favor, just because like there was a missed chop.
Well, it was the death pulse, the magic stick charges from the wisp, mech from the necro, then the nightmare sleep to stop the damages from coming through, and that was half a second before death pulse came off cooldown again. So as he came back up, he death pulsed, switched his obviously switching treads, you know, to Agi, then sorry, to in, and then back to Agi again. Oh man.
Is under attack. Radiant's middle
Oh boy, that was absurd.
And
let's not forget about the clutch timing of Barash throwing out that sleight of fist right as Edma goes for the soul ring and brings himself low enough that the sleight of fist kills him before he can get off the black hole. Like, if he gets off a black hole in that scenario, that fight is entirely different. You're probably talking about the Necrophos dying that much faster, good amount of control.
I thought that Arcade would actually just try and bait the fight and maybe force TPs down to bottom lane and cancel them. Because Cheshire Cat was about to push up onto tier 3, but he TP'd. Like you said, with a BKB, he's in battle mode. And this Broodmother just ran through into the team fight. One web down, started charging around onto these targets. And now you've got a full Daedal of Barash. Does the Brood have MKB yet? 200 gold away. But this is the period of the game where Complexity, their early lead on this axe, the strength is waning. All of the power now really lies in a big black hole. The Wind Ranger getting her damage output onto the Emperor or someone, the Necro maybe. But even so, this Necrophos, Octarine with the plate mail, I just don't see it. They nearly killed him, nearly did. So there is a way, but it's not easy.
17 to 21, 33 minutes in. There wasn't that big of a lead for Arcade. In fact, just like 4 minutes ago, they were only up by like 2,000 gold. If that last team fight had gone in Complexity's favor, they would be ahead in net worth, and actually would have been, especially with where that fight occurred, been in a quite dominant position, because then they would have been able to push out that tier 2 at the top lane. That fight, there were so many small factors that, you know, just one little thing goes to Complexity's favor rather than Arcade's, then that fight as a whole goes Complexity's way. And then they actually, you know, take out the tier 2 in the top lane. Maybe they even push into the tier 3. You look at Roshan, maybe you look at forcing buybacks. You know, there's a lot of things that could have happened there in that one scenario. Complexity now, though, are right back to where they were kind of, you know, 8-10 minutes ago, where this game's looking pretty rough. And it seems like Arcade are just gonna eventually farm up to a point
and march through
where they can't be stopped.
Yeah. Oh, this Dazzle, he's got a gem. They're looking to try and limit the warding and vision here for Arcade. But the line has been drawn. Time to push up top lane. Time to just go take threes. Roshan's up though. It's been picked up by Complexity, and both teams with the Ember Spirit Remnant in there and the Brood up on the high ground. The Dazzle's looking for him. Might be able to see him.
Yeah, Broodmother comes back. We'll see. The top lane's being pushed out though. They got to deal with that. Mid as well, actually.
That's so annoying for Complexity. They want to take Roche, but they have to react to what's happening now from Arcade. If they get the pick off on Bash down to bottom lane, if they get the jump there, or even onto the Broodmother.
And Penguin check. Too bad he doesn't have the gem. He would have spotted out the Cheshire Cat Broodmother.
Top tower is under attack.
But Invis sees Invis. Or Barash.
Can they get the shackle?
Yeah. Oh, managed to get the call on a Cheshire Cat. Vlad actually reveals him with the gem. Now they relocate in. They're going to try and save Cheshire Cat as Strong comes in. They go the heals. They're going to go for Penguin check, or maybe Ziz. He's the Shalgrave who's able to buy some time there, but Penguin check is going to be caught out by the Fiend's Grip. He's going to be dying as Vlad can't stop that one. He actually goes down as well, dropping that gem. Ziz does manage to get out with a TP away, and so too does Z-Freak get out. But unfortunately, they lose their win range or lose fight, and it's going to be Arcade taking Roshan.
And a gem as well. So Cheshire Cat can pick that one up, or J4, whichever one. But relocating, Cheshire Cat just couldn't be killed off. Like, we're talking about how strong Necro is and how difficult it is to kill him. If Cheshire Cat gets the opportunity to pop the ultimate, and after the call he did, he just turns around and fights. There isn't enough damage to kill him through BKB, and still no big black hole from Z-Freak. Without a Blink Dagger, without anything to actually, reposition himself in a team fight. The Glimmer Cap was helping with the TPs out, allowing him to save people like the Dazzle for a little while, get himself into that TP position and actually escape. But I wonder if the plan here was to actually try and snowball into a black hole Tusk, because that's the way to initiate in. But Swindle's always on the edge of looking for that opening, because he's the one that jumps forward with the axe, looks for that initial.
Yeah, makes sense. Z-Freak. 3,300 gold. I'm just trying to think about what scenarios, like what pickups can continue complexities like Power Spike. And the only thing I can actually think of is like an Aghanims for Enigma. Just because that would actually offer you a significant amount of damage, and that's the biggest thing they're lacking right now. If they can't actually burst down the Necrophos, then the natural sustain that Necrophos has to offer will keep everyone alive.
Yeah. Is he going Lincoln's here though? He's picked up
I think so, yeah. I mean, Lincoln's does make a certain amount of sense. For me, it's more like the Aghanims is the riskier move.
It's the game-winning move.
But it's the potentially if you get that one good play, you can win the game off of it potentially. But I'm not sure if Lincoln's, if you do get that one good play, will actually allow you to.
Especially now the enemy have a gem on J4. That Glimmer Cape was the way into the fight to actually position yourself well. We'll have to see if Swindle can get the snowball into black hole. That could be big for complexity. But Ember Spirit, he's up to 4,200 gold, and they've moved down to Broodmother's lane. She's been pressing this for quite a while now, and he should be able to.
They just killed a ward. Swindle, if he's clicked on Broodmother, should see the fact that there's no vision from him. So the ward dying has to be a sign of something, and sure enough, Arcade all come out of vision now and start moving forward. The snowball, blink back, and actually forced to react from J4. Thought maybe he could catch him with the Fiend's Grip. But this will be Necrophos on the front lines.
He doesn't do any damage to the tower, though.
I thought Ziz was actually going to blink in and drag the Necrophos back further. They got him to the tower, and then they could probably drag him back a bit farther. But Snowball, another blink out play. Yeah. Just trying to buy time. Top lane is being pushed out by Z-Freak, but J4 is here. He has a blink dagger, too. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get vision Z-Freak going into the jungle, so if they back out now, they'll actually have a 5 versus 4 scenario knowing J4 is top, and he also has gem, so that's opportunities for them to knowingly force a 5 versus 4 and also use their Glimmer Capes effectively as well. But they don't try for it. Maybe he's gonna try and get this last hit on the tier 2.
Deny the tower.
This is a really ballsy play.
He's not gonna go for it, surely.
That would be kind of crazy.
It's not worth his life for sure.
Yeah. I mean, is there a play where you can Malphus and successfully go for the tower and TP out? I don't think so. Maybe. Do you think there's enough space between Malphus stuns so you can get off sleep? Because it's a really big animation.
I think
Fiend's Grip is a little bit more faster, though.
I think you can sleep.
Yeah. Even if you can't sleep, you can guaranteed get off Fiend's Grip. Even if it does get, taken out instantly. Stopping the TP is probably enough to catch the Enigma.
I wish tooltips had like cast times and cast points in them. Then you could know for sure. But not too sure.
Glimmer Cape finished up for Bignum. Like our Bane's gonna go for a BKB. We have the completed Shivas for Necrophos. You sell the mech at a certain point, right, and go for a Blink Dagger.
See, do we go back to what we were talking about before and wonder if it goes Ags or Refresher? Or do you really want that blink to jump back onto like the dazzle?
For me, it's like because you went the Shivas, blink has a lot of value. That I almost. But I mean, you're pushing the end game scenario. Aghanim's has so much value if you're pushing into base and stop, no buyback. I think you do go Aghanim's. Replace mech with Aghanim's.
Yeah, but actually saying that, if the grave onto your Aghanim's ultimate, what is that?
True.
What was that 4,200 gold given you?
True, I forgot about that. This Dazzle is a very tough job because he may even have to give up on an ally simply because it's not Reaper Scythe.
Yeah.
Right? If that ally has buyback and it's not a Reaper Scythe play, then you don't go.
Tough choices. Arcade. Yeah, they've got Scarlet and Ember Spirit now, but Complexity, again, they've got very good high ground defensive capability. Between the Enigma and the Axe, they've got some good wave clear as well. Power Shot just keeps shoving these waves out, and there's no good way for Arcade to breach high ground without taking a fight outside of the base, which maybe they can do now onto Swindles. Or not. Lotus Orb up. Get out of here. Yeah.
I like that he's trying to build into damage as the Tusk, though. I think that's the right. He has the Desolate now.
With the Daedalus and Wind Ranger completed as well, that minus armor can destroy people.
They really need an MKB on Wind Ranger, though. Because with the MKB on the Broodmother, you have this significantly favored advantage for the Broodmother, where he's putting that miss percentage chance on Wind Ranger and doesn't have to worry about the win run himself. So if Pingvinchek ever wants to actually man mode against the Broodmother, he has to have MKB. Swindle just repeatedly taking off chains with that Lotus Orb.
So annoying.
Is there any other whoa, you can remove Fiend's Grip. Yeah. Okay. Did you mention that?
No, I don't think I did. But speaking of Fiend's Grip, he's dead.
Yeah,
Bane's
they get
gone.
the Bane. Z-Freak almost dies to Barash at the same time. But fortunately the Glimmer Cape keeps him alive. Yeah, so that's what it is. I was so focused on the Reaper Scythe just because I've seen it so many times against Reaper Scythe. But yeah, Fiend's Grip, that makes a lot more sense.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Such a weird item.
It really is.
Like, people always think about that the Echo Shell.
Is that the name of it?
Echo. Was it just Echo?
Echo Shell? No, you're right.
I think it's Echo Shell.
Yeah.
The actual bounce back of spells. That was what everyone focused on. But then it's that secret little, oh, by the way, I dispel a load of shit as well.
Yeah.
No one thinks about it. Spelling Hex and all sorts of stuff. It's great. Or Purging, whatever you want to call it.
I believe Wisp is now going for the mech. He's got the headdress, so...
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. I mean, the Necrophos has to remove his mech eventually, but you still want it. It's such a value item, especially when you have a Wisp.
Something worth noting as well is that Z-Freak's gone... He's stuck with level 1 Black Hole. Wait, who's been called? Is he just calling creeps? Yeah. Now... Level 1 Black Hole, it's mainly to do with the mana cost. It does increase a fair amount.
Yeah.
But when it's into this stage of the game, we're level 16 with Level 1 Black Hole, I do wonder. Because the damage increase and, more importantly, the cooldown. It's only 10 seconds per level. Still, 10 seconds. That could be you losing a round or you winning a team fight.
102 seconds for Swindamelons. That'll never get old. Seeing Reaper's Scythe absurdly long cooldown, or death timers. That'll never get old. 100 seconds on the clock for Tusk.
10 years since respawn.
Yeah. I would agree with you that I believe that the lower cooldown and even just like the increase in damage is worth it at this point in the game. Especially knowing that you're not going a refresher build. Like if he was going a refresher builds and was like on level 16, you'd be like, okay, I might have some mana issues.
Yeah.
But at this point, like there's no mana issues to be had. So... I don't see a lot of value in the stats, but maybe he'll start going for it soon.
He's got to. Like, going into level 17 and just going stats isn't going to be worth it.
Nacy, I mean, Arcade Power Rangers, they see that this is... Oh, they have the ags finished up, by the way. They see that this is very clearly a game that's in their favor, and they're just going to farm out until... Even if there is, like, a good 3 or 4 man black hole, it may not change the fight to complexities, or just because they're so far ahead.
Are they smoking? Yeah, Enigma buys a smoke. Time to go and run into them and try and find something, but they're running into Daedalus, Skadi, Battle Fury, Ember Spirit, J4 with his Glimmer Blink, and like you said, Arcanum Scepter on the Necro is done.
If they get the right pickoff, though, right now Necrophos does not have buyback.
Ooh.
So that would be
Right.
big. Jesus. Broodmelly, you want to take over the game a little bit more? Good lord. There's a lot of regeneration. Is it just... Is that a little bit bugged? Like, sometimes the voices will come in and they're like... maxed
Super
out,
loud, yeah.
and then when they're not supposed to be.
I got it last night with Ember Spirit, like...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. just
Flame in spirit.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, Ember. He's like half a map away too. You're not even clicked on him, but...
talking about checking people up. Oh, Cheshire Cat, hello!
Wait, what? BKB activated, but he's not gonna get away from this one with the call. They usually have enough. All right, that was a good start. No buyback there for the Broodmother. So he won't be able to fight around Roshan. This is probably them giving up an Aegis and cheese. The best Arcade can do is probably push the top lane. I don't think they want to go into this fight because they still don't have a buyback on Necrophos. If they lose the Roshan fight, they could lose the game.
In the pit against the Black Hole and Ember as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Don't want to be going in there, so... Yeah,
They're actually backing out like they want to fight this one.
can Ember Spirit steal this? Because you can steal Aegis with, like, Sleight of Fist and while you're in Remnant. He can try for this. He can try for it.
Okay, is he gonna jump in? No, he doesn't go for it. Just more Sleight of Fist. Links over. Now he jumps in. Wait, what? What happened? He's now gonna be caught out. Ziz gets the control there.
Did he get forced out by Ziz?
Maybe.
I'm sure he did, because he blinked in to here, and then he didn't Remnant. He actually got forced up here.
Oh, okay, that's interesting.
He didn't have a Remnant there, did he?
Yeah, he still... no, I don't think he had a remnant.
He had a remnant here,
and then he would have lost...
back here.
Yeah, if he remnanted over here, he would have lost the remnant inside. So he had to blink it. You're right.
So Ziz forced him up onto the cliff, so he couldn't steal it.
That's a pretty
Holy
next
shit.
level play.
Nice.
If you have the vision, you know he's going to try to make that jump. Just preemptively clicking the Force Staff on him.
Dire's bottom tower
I'm sure that was really disorientating for the Ember Spirit.
Where the hell
am
am I?
I really think the Arcade, just decision-making wise, that was a bad play, though.
Yeah.
Like, they should have just gone for the top lane. Lotus Orb, and, okay, they're actually going to get the snowball here, trying to find some time. They will be able to get a black on it, too. No stopping that one, but Z-Freak off. Shallow Grave is going to be able to keep it alive. They managed to chop down the Necrophos, but a buyback is going to come in, and they're going to look for that Reaper Scythe kill. Ziz is going to run out of BKB soon. Necrophos will be coming in, finish these heroes off soon. They're just going to pursue out. Looks like they do get the axe, and they're going to try and collect more here. Swindle, he's going to be caught out by the sleep. Chained up. He will die here after the snowball.
Who took the cheese?
And that's going to be 4. Somebody ate the cheese. I believe it was the Tusk.
Okay.
Yeah. He went down about half HP and cheese did it.
So now you have no black hole, no axe for 90 seconds. Top lane is pushing in heavily, and the Wind Rangers alone to defend.
They're in a kind of similar scenario, though, in that the axe doesn't have buyback because of Reaper Scythe. But if you get a kill on the Necrophos, he doesn't have a buyback.
Or the Ember. Both of them back. Yeah.
Oh, really? The Ember Spirit bought back? Damn. I mean, that was actually, like, a really good fight for complexity, in a way. Because they were able to get those kills and force buybacks, but now they look in such a crippled position.
How do they kill without axe? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, that's a start. Sleep.
Like
Oh, okay. Lotus, wait.
It
Lotus
doesn't
remove sleep?
No.
It removes Fiend's Grip and Ultimate, but it doesn't remove Sleep.
Yeah.
Alright, Dota 2. Cheshire Cat caught in once again, but they do have the invis. They don't actually have vision to be able to reveal him. They relocate him backwards just to make sure he's still alive. Barsh is going to be the target here. Minus armor there. Got to be careful. Warble's Punch could do a lot, especially with the minus armor of the Weave already on him. I wonder why he didn't go for that.
Bane's a dumb hero, dude. and Feeble can't be spelled by anything or purged either. And Feeble's an interesting spell. But
yeah, Enfeeble for me, like, it makes sense just because Enfeeble would be really garbage if that was possible. But Sleep? That's weird as hell. You can wake someone, I guess.
You have to slap him around to wake him up.
Yeah.
Can't cast any of that nonsense magic to try and save him.
No magic. You got to do it the good old-fashioned way. Dump Dump a bottle of cold water on his head. Slap him around. Do what you gotta do. Alright, so, I mean, they didn't lose a laner Rax, so Complexity are actually in a great position now. Like, as long as they didn't get crippled by that fight that came into their face, they were going to be in a superior position for the next 4 minutes. They just have to catch the Ember Spirit or the Necrophos. But, unfortunately, Arcade isn't going to make it easy. So now Complexity have to try and go uphill in order to force that fight, and that's going to be really tough. Because Ember Spirit is one of the kings defending high ground. And having Necrophos in a defensive position as well, that can't be easy to push into either.
I've got Black Hole and 10 though.
So they're getting control of all the lanes right now. Barash, of course, will be the outlier, being at least one of the lanes pushed in at all times.
He's got a ton of money. Even after the buyback, he's got so much gold.
He can actually straight up buy a Divine Rapier. Like, what's the point if you don't have buyback, you know? If you're in a scenario where if you die, you could lose the game, you might as well go all in. You only have one item slot left.
Just do it, huh?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, honestly, what's the point? You won't have buyback. Like, maybe you just try and get the positioning so you can wait out your buyback, but I don't think that's going to happen. Complexity, I'm sure they see the win condition here, and they're not going to let it go to waste.
In the same vein as an Enigma, the fact that you know that one black hole could win you the game, and then without black hole, it's unlikely you win the game, do you just go and buy Blink here and give up your buyback as well?
Yeah, I think so. He's not going to do it, though.
No, it's far away.
I think it's just too risky pushing in Necrophos saying, like, I want to be able to fall back on a buyback, because just because you can buy back, what if your Wind Ranger's dead? You know, you still can't defend actually. Okay, that's a sleep right back out to J4. That's a little awkward. Snowball will be able to buy the Wind Ranger a little bit more time. Swindle has been on point with the Snowball saves. But now it's a push out. They're going to try and force Power Rangers to come to them. That's not going to happen. Arcade are keeping themselves pretty disciplined.
Such a freaky player as well, you know, for Swindles to reliably do that every time Penguin check gets gone on. The Lotus plus Lincolns onto the Wind Ranger, it's just risky.
In that tier 3, how long till the buybacks? Another 2 minutes. So ideally you force the fight in the next minute, because you don't want to be like, oh, they don't have buyback for 30 seconds. You know, it's not going to mean too much.
It's MKB for the Wind Ranger.
And that actually means a lot. That's a fully invested Penguin check. I think you do the same on your Enigma. Unfortunately, you don't have the quick shop access, so they take out the melee racks. I think you're doing this right. You don't lose the game when you give up just a melee racks, you know? It's not that big of an advantage. This late into the game? Absolutely not.
Yeah, I guess Ember as well. I guess any of these heroes, they can clear through pretty nicely.
Yeah. But Ember Spirit's definitely the king of it. Sleight of Fist.
Complexity, they've got the defensive weave on them. I think they just want to jump in here. It's kind of early, though. It's gonna be wearing off.
Yeah. Well, if they go in the next 5 seconds, they'll have that peak of weave. That'll be nice, but then it'll wear out.
It's gone.
Yeah, it's gonna be gone.
It's a decent cooldown spell, though.
Yeah, it'll be up in 15 seconds. Still, though, I mean, 15 seconds. You're getting that minute timer now for the Ember Spirit Necrophos. Another sleep. Slowly but surely working their way through.
And the Lincolns. And 4 stepped away. Oh, Tron a little bit too far forward for his teammates liking that.
They're going to keep going. MKB on the Ember Spirit instead of the Divine Rapier. I mean, makes sense against Wind Ranger, but...
Tron just keeps clearing wave after wave. They could jump him here.
They block him out with the shards. They still have the relocate play, though. I think that's part of the reason that Complex aren't willing to commit. Once again, I mean, Complexity seem to have a pretty high learning curve. You know, they get stomped in game 1, but they always give us a really sharp game 2. Penguin check. Takes a lot of damage here. Wind run out, but there is still that Lincoln's, so we can't see the Reaper Scythe. Oh, Roshan's actually back up.
You know how we were talking about Black Hole being level 1? He maxed it now.
Okay.
But Bane has no points in Enfeeble. 120 damage. 120 damage reduction against people with crits.
It's really good versus Wind Ranger.
Yeah.
I will agree that's... Yeah, it's really good versus Wind Ranger. I can understand why he's like, I'm just never going to be in a position for a good Enfeeble, but that ability is really tough to actually use effectively.
What's the range on it?
It's not long. Cool. I don't know the range, but it's not long enough. Shiva's down Z-Freak. They still have the Rocket Toast, burn through Lincoln's. Fiend's Grip now catching Z-Freak, and Lotus Orb doesn't actually stop that Fiend's Grip. They're going to have the ultimate go out. Z-Freak manages to survive through the Shadow Grave. Now they're going to catch J4. Tron, think there's one. No, the black hole. Oh, unfortunately, the Sleight of Fist has taken that one out. Bignum had the recall back anyway. They have Ziz. He's kind of awkward position. They don't have Reaper Sight for another 35 seconds, but it looks like they don't really need it. They're going to be able to slow down Ziz enough. They should be able to catch him. There's a buyback for the Enigma. Doesn't have black hole, so I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do with this one. Barash. He's going to TP up to that top lane and push it out because that is a gigantic wave pushing into tier 3. But that was a one fight for Arcade. They're not necessarily going to be able to push high ground right away after that fight, but they will go for Roshan, and it's probably why Ziz bought back. Or excuse me, Z-Freak.
No axe for a minute. Ping check. Are you going to go contest this? They're pinging out. I think this is going to be one of the Hail Mary plays again. Yeah. They know that they can't give Aegis Cheese away because that's just going to be game ending where Power Rangers will walk up to high ground, take tier 3s, maybe even Prone, and there we go.
They're in decent position, but they can really take advantage of the position. The problem, they don't have any damage. The Shadow Grave goes in on the Vlad. They've got Reaper's Sight. Will they use it on Vlad or hold on to it?
They can't because of the nightmare finishing him off.
Alright, the sleep kills him instead.
Okay.
And now it's going to be Roshan. You know what's funny? Talking about how like it's better just to invest your gold than trying to win the team fight, but at the same time, if Axe hadn't had that philosophy, because he didn't get killed by the fight, there was the grave save that prevented a Reaper Scythe kill.
He would have had buyback.
Yeah, he would have had, buyback, and maybe that would have been a very different fight.
Yeah.
Do you think that Complexity should have forced a Roshan fight rather than an uphill fight? Because Roshan was up. I don't think he knew it, but it was around that time.
I think the mentality of it is knowing Power Rangers and their history, that they tend to get antsy, right? They want to fight, and being locked up in their base can often put them on edge a little bit.
No. Cheshire Cat actually going for Swindle here. The Snowball will buy him some time. They'll try and block out, but the Shiva stops them immediately. Oh, they get the Reaper Scythe kill there. He's down for 2 minutes. Dazzle's only just now coming back. Complexity already in such a crippled position now. And it's even worse with the Tusk being dead. Arcade are just too powerful at this point. Before they had this opportunity, it was like one fight. That's all you have to do is win one fight with these buybacks on cooldown. But even if they do manage to successfully push Arcade out, all they're going to be able to do is force buybacks. Looks like they're going to jump. Cheshire Cat can drop low, but a nice jump back from Bignum. And they will be able to take out the Aegis of the Ember Spirit, but he'll come back looking all right. In fact, he's going to get a really good Sleight of Fist that almost finished off Ping check. Z-Freak's going to be the target. Cheshire Cat right-clicks him down. And they go right back, taking that second lane. Brax now, with everyone beginning to heal up thanks to the Necrophos, and he slashed cheese.
Time to all in. Here we go. One last jump for the axe, and Penguin Check is trying to line up the shackle shot. But who do they go for? If they can kill Tron before he gets cheese, then that's going to be great.
Yeah, it's got to be Tron, right?
He's so far back, though. Where's Wind Ranger gone?
Or you shackle J4 Barash.
Oh,
that's going to be the play.
They're looking for Cheshire Cat.
J4 does go down nice and quick to the focus fire. Dazzle also going to be taken out by another Reaper's Scythe. Ziz, though, he's going to be run down by Barash. There's easily enough damage. There it is. GG. Complexity. 2 series in a row where the game 1 looks really big for them. They come back stronger in game 2, but not strong enough to finish out the game.
Yeah. And worth pointing out, there are people, a couple of people in the chat what servers they're on. Both games are on European servers, so it's not like game 1 is Europe and game 2 is US East or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's just Complexity seem to have this switch where it's like, oh god, we cocked up game number 1. Let's focus game number 2.
Yeah.